My hands are washed and all my veggies are washed. So I'm going to use, you can use whatever veggies you want. I'm actually going to cut a little bit of a jalapeno. I'm going to use kind of big slices, so in case somebody wants to take them out, they can. So that's what I'm going to do here. This doesn't take very long to cut up, but we do have some things that will take a little bit longer to cut up. All my veggies are cut up. And now I'm going to cut the chicken. I always cut it on a paper plate because that way I can throw it away and I don't have to worry about any of the chicken juice or anything being on anything of mine. Okay, I have everything ready here to make my chicken pack. So I cut about a 2-foot piece of aluminum foil here, and that should be big enough if you don't make your pack too big. You want to make sure that you don't overfill it because it won't cook evenly. And then I also did a little research to see if it mattered which side of the foil you use, which I guess it doesn't matter. Some people said that the shiny side mattered, so, you know, whatever side you want to use. So what I did was I cut some chicken up into very, not very long chunks. You can trim the fat if you want or keep it on. I used chicken breast. So I just put a few pieces, like 3 small little pieces, maybe 4, because it's going to cook in with all the veggies. And then it just depends on what each kid likes to what goes into each pack. I have bell peppers here, all different colors. I have some orange, yellow, and red. I have some jalapenos here, which of course this is probably going to be my pack. We'll put a little bit of the summer squash, a little bit. We don't want to make the pack too big. I'm going to put a little bit of cauliflower in here, and I'll just leave it at that. And then I also usually put a little bit of butter. So I have a stick of butter here, and what I'll do is I'll just cut a little piece, just a little pat of butter, just a small one, put it right on top, and then cheese if you want. I'm not going to put cheese on mine, but sometimes the kids like the cheese. So if you can see, I'll show you the pack. So it's got all different kinds of things in it. You can also add mushrooms or whatever veggies that your kids will eat. So that is the pack, and it's ready to go into the oven. It will stay in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes on 425, so that chicken will cook all the way through. And that butter will melt and give it some juice. You can also add garlic salt to it, or maybe even some sea salt to give it some seasoning. You can add some pepper as well. I'm just going to add some garlic salt to mine so that it'll, not a lot, just enough to give it a little, well, that was kind of a lot, just to give it a little taste. So now it's time to just fold up the pack. You want to make sure that you get the edges all sealed and kind of like just in a little pouch. And that's your dish. So you don't have any dishes when you're done either. Sometimes I always put them on a cookie sheet, and sometimes they'll leak out onto the cookie sheet, but that's about the extent of your dishes, because you'll see you get to throw all these away. It sounds like the oven's ready to go. Then if you have a family member or a child that doesn't want to eat chicken, so what I do is I finish up all the rest of the veggies. I can either do 1 or multiple packs. Remember to try to keep your veggies a bigger size, because they'll cook and they'll cook away, and there won't be anything left. So you want to keep them at a bigger size, kind of like this, or you'll just have little pieces whenever you get done cooking. Okay, so the pack is done, and I'm going to open it up. It just came out of the oven, so it's super hot, but you can see that the pack, this is my pack. So after I'm done with this, I can just throw the package away. I always want to make sure that the chicken is done. So I go to the bottom and make sure that the chicken has cooked all the way through because I want to make sure that's all good, and it is. So the pack is done after 35 minutes of cooking at 425 in the oven, and it's time for dinner. Thank you.